everyone, thanks for joining me. I'm Irene, and today I'm gonna be sharing ways for you to stretch your dollar while you're planning your trip to Disneyland. So I think we all know that going to Disneyland is very expensive. Tickets are getting more and more expensive, and especially if you are a family of 4 or more, these prices and everything else that is tacked on to this trip really add up quick. And so I have a limited travel budget. Of course, if you have a larger travel budget, then some of these things might not be as important for you. And also, I think in general, when people are planning trips, it's just good to prioritize what's important to you. So if certain things aren't as important, then you can cut back in different ways. So these are things that I've found helpful for me and my family, so I just wanted to share some of these things. So I have 10 items to share with you today. So first, if you can stay off property, then I think that's always better. And so for our trip, we stayed pretty close to Disneyland. I mean, when you go to Disneyland, there are so many options very close by, and it's right on the main road. I believe it's South Harbor Boulevard, and there are just tons and tons of options, from hotels and motels that are very inexpensive all the way up to probably similar prices that you would expect at Disneyland. So if you stay at a Disneyland hotel, you can expect to pay $300–400 a night. And so the hotel that we stayed at, I believe, was right around $70 a night. So big difference. And we are the type of family that really doesn't stay in the hotel very much. So we're really there just to shower and sleep, and we're out the rest of the time. So for us, it doesn't make any sense to stay in a more expensive hotel. And again, everybody's budget's different. Everybody has different priorities. If this is something that's important to you, that you stay at a Disney hotel, then of course that's what you're gonna do. So anyway, for us, the hotel that we ended up staying at was very close to the Toy Story parking lot. And so we just walked to the parking lot, got the tram for free to get the rest of the way to Disneyland. And the other thing with that, when I was looking for the hotel, I made sure to search for hotels that had free breakfast and free parking. So, you know, with some of the other hotels that are a little bit more expensive, then sometimes they don't offer free breakfast or they don't offer free parking. So that's another expense that you have to plan for if you get a more expensive hotel. So number 2 is bringing your own snacks. And so I really like to try snacks and food. If you have been watching my channel for a while, you know that I really enjoy food and trying new things. So this wasn't as important for us, but just so that you know, we did see plenty of people coming in with small coolers or backpacks that had food in them, and the only way that I know that is because they happened to be in front of us in the security line. But there were also other people that we saw in line snacking on granola bars, chips. You can pack the little goldfish crackers, and I mean, there's tons of things that you can pack depending on what you and your kids enjoy eating. So that's another way to cut down on costs while you're there. Then another thing you can do is to bring ponchos, because of course if you get ponchos at Disneyland, they're going to be more expensive. So if you just go to the dollar store or somewhere else that has ponchos for $1, you can bring those with you, and they come in really handy when you are getting on the water rides. So this last time we forgot to bring our ponchos and we got soaking wet. And if it's a hot day or if you don't care about getting wet, then of course it's not going to be a priority for you. But the other thing is that if it rains, so you just make sure to check the weather, and if it's going to be raining while you're there, then you might want to bring a poncho. And I don't think it's really that big of an issue in California. It's probably more of an issue if you're going to Disney World. So anyway, for water rides, you might want to bring a poncho, so best to get those off property. So the other thing is really to get other souvenirs and also trading pins off property if you can. So if you happen to be fortunate enough to live somewhere that there is a Disney outlet, then you can definitely get a lot of souvenirs there and just pack those in your suitcase. And so either the night before or the morning of, you can pull out some of those souvenirs and give them to your kids, and so they will feel like they got something on the trip, which is always good, because of course if you give it to them in advance, then they still might feel like they want to get something at the park. So I really like to just tuck those away and give it to them while we're there. So it happens that we have a Disney outlet store near us, and so I was able to get some beach towels for a really great price and also some trading pins. The outlet store doesn't always have trading pins, so if you go in periodically, just check out and see if they have them. Sometimes they're even in random spots, so you want to just look around or ask an employee if they have any. And actually the last time I went there before our trip, I asked if they had any Disney trading pins and they said no, but they did. They were just tucked away kind of near a different section that they, I guess, didn't expect them to be, and they didn't know that somebody had put them out. So anyway, you just never know. It's good to go in and browse if you have a Disney outlet near you, just to see. And the packs that I got, so I wound up getting 2 packs of pins, and I believe they were around $6. Our original price was like $30 or something like that. So I mean, you save quite a bit of money if you can get some of those things off property. And along those same lines, which is the next item, is if you go to the dollar store, then you can get some of those glow sticks, which is really cute because at night, either during the parade or anytime it's dark, you can pull those out of your bag and give those to your kids so that they have those little glow sticks at night, which is really fun because the ones that they sell at Disneyland, of course, is gonna be way more expensive. And I have noticed that at Target and Walmart, they have Disney related items. So you can get Disney t-shirts. I think sometimes they might even have trading pins at Target, but they have all kinds of Disney related items at those stores. So I did happen to pick up a t-shirt. I think the t-shirt that I got was at Walmart, but it was like on clearance for $8. And it was a really nice material. It was really comfortable and really soft. So that worked out really well. Again, just kind of look around and see what you find, but just tuck those away in your suitcase and pull them out when you get there. So the other thing is, if you can, if it's not very important to you to go to a character meal, then I would definitely skip those. So it just happens that our kids are older now and they don't really care about things like that, and so it's a bit easier for us. But even if you do have small kids, they're not gonna know that it's available, so I guess that way you wouldn't feel so bad about it. But if you don't really care much about having a meal with characters around, then I would skip that And also another item, which is again along the same lines, is if you go to quick service and you're not very hungry, you can always order off of the children's menu, which I do pretty often and I've never had a problem with it. Or if you go to a sit-down restaurant, they usually have pretty large portions and you can split something with one of the kids, which is what we did last time we were there. We tried the Monte Cristo. It was a huge portion. We also got the pommes frites, and so we wound up splitting that between 3 of us, and all of us were full afterwards. So I think that it's better to split food rather than waste it, because really, who's gonna walk around the park with leftovers? You might, but anyway, it just worked out well for us to split some food. And then another thing about the quick service restaurants is that they will give you cups of water whenever you want. And so instead of buying bottled water, you can always just stop by a quick service location and ask for water. And of course, if you want to bring in a water bottle that you can refill, you can do that too, or just bring in your own water. So sometimes I bring in a water bottle and just refill it, but I just don't really like carrying around the water bottle all the time. So this last time we just went to the quick service when we were thirsty and asked for some water. So that's another thing. And I forgot to mention a really important tip, which is, if at all possible, it will save you a lot of money if you can drive instead of getting plane tickets to get to Disneyland. Then lastly, if you get your park ticket to Disneyland during off times or times that aren't considered peak times, then you will likely get your tickets for a little bit less. So definitely during holidays, they're gonna be a little bit more expensive. On weekends, they're gonna be a little bit more expensive. During certain times of year when they expect a lot of people to be at the park, then they're going to be a little bit more expensive. So if you're able to be flexible with your travel plans, then that comes in really handy if you can go during off times. Also, if you can go during the week, then you're not going to have as long of wait times as you might expect on the weekend. So not only are you gonna have shorter wait times, but then your ticket's also gonna be less. So you kind of get a double benefit there. Those are all of my tips. I hope that some of those are gonna be helpful for you as you're planning your trip. I hope that you liked this video. Please like and subscribe. And also, if you want to, feel free to share this video with your friends and family in lieu of gifts this year. Could work out. So I will see you in the next video. Thanks, bye.